Are we live? Check, check. 1 2 1 2. Let me listen in. 1 2. Let me listen in. 1 2. Yeah. Let me listen in. 1 2. Yeah.
Stream Elements says Yadas is now live.
Yeah.
Streaming software and game
Okay.
development. Game dev, upgrading.
Jesus. All right. Everything works. Today, let me think real quick. I wanted to merge our player script with the new directional character script, so the code from directional controller script is in the player script, so I can remove that one, and then maybe merge it. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just move some other code in there as well before we merge it. All right, but those are like the first step is to merge the scripts, and then we'll see what happens after that. Alrighty. So here I have both of these. Both. All right. So basically, this one should be in the other one. Alrighty. Oh, let me close that. I don't need that. Okay. Let's see. So I guess first move all of these over there. I think something similar is already in here, but I'm not sure. Doesn't look like it. You won't need this anymore. Okay. Let me just do it like this. That will be easier. And we will need to find out how I can get the animator. Maybe that is already included in Animents, I'm not sure. Okay, first things first. Let me remove everything that I will not be needing anymore. On the left side. I will not be needing the animator anymore for sure. Remove that. I will not be needing this, I think. I'm gonna keep it in here just in case, but I don't think it's necessary. These things we will need. On trigger, enter, fadeable. That's the fadeable interface, basically. I will need to change this differently. This is kind of as how it is right now, but for now it works. Wait, let me just put a to-do in here. To-do, make this smarter. This class, or let's say like this, player CS shouldn't know about fadables. Okay. Well, this is also the other part. Quick stop that has the move or movement. Kind of want, instead of calling this movement input, I want to call this movement. Fuck me. Control Z. Again, movement direction. I'm pretty sure he added the. No, it didn't. Okay, that's good. Didn't this make sense? The animate function. This doesn't make any sense. I removed this, so I will not be needing this anymore. Here we have the change methods that change stuff with the input. Change move input. This should be change move movement direction. Okay. Change run input. Change run input. I wish I knew a better naming for this. It's more like update running. Something like that. Is running. Or maybe like change running state. I don't want to change, I want to update it. It's kind of, I'm going to call this update movement direction. And this one will be update run state, running, movement state. Update running, update. How do you call this? Fuck. Update. Let's just call it state for now. It's not correct, but it's better than nothing. Why did it switch my keyboard layout? Find a better name. Is running, is not, is technically not a state. Okay. Update dodge state. We will not be needing this coroutine shit. So I will remove this. I think this one should be enough. We will not be using any of this. But I will add a to-do so I know this needs to be copied from somewhere else. Add animation logic here. Move. This makes sense. Equip. This one equips an item. Right. This unequips it. You will not be needing this one because I fixed that differently in Animencer. All right. Let me just. Okay, I think now we have most of it. Now I want to change some things. I want to have a header movement, like we have it on the right side. I want to have the. I think I want this under this, actually. This also has to do with moving, but it's different. I'm thinking how to use this. Is like this is necessary for animations, but also for. I think this is also a movement thing. So I will put this in here too, like this. And this has to do also with animations, but not only. I don't know yet, so I will. Maybe we'll call this equipment for now. Oh, typed it wrong. Header equipment. And this one should be the bottom, I think. The rigid body is important. I don't know where to put it. Under movement too, I guess. I'm gonna put it here too. There you go. Okay. Okay, looks better already. Now let's check if this is over here. It is. Oh, we should rename these to be like this. I do not remove that. I don't want these formally serialized as. We should just correctly map everything. Okay. I will move this up. I'm gonna move this down a little bit lower like this. And that is our movement stuff that we have here, 1-to-1 copied over, I think. Yes, it is. Okay. So this part is done, so. Then facing direction would make sense, yes. I would put the facing direction also to movement. I think this also needs to be used not only for the animations, you know, it's multiple things. So I will put that one maybe here like this. But I also think that it's no reason whatsoever to make this serializable. I feel like this can be private. This doesn't need to be serializable. So I will remove this and I will move it here. And now I'm thinking, is facing direction better? I'm thinking, should I use like empty lines between these? I don't know. For now, I just keep it like this. Okay. What else? Now I think we can just copy these over. Right? Question is, do I want these above everything else? I think we can do that because it's, if we make it alphabetical, it makes sense too. But then I would also need to move this up. Yeah, let's make it alphabetical. Makes sense in a way. All right. I haven't looked up yet how to make it so the serialized field is automatically above the member or instance member. I don't know how that works yet. I'll have to look that up. Okay, now we should just be importing the missing includes. And it looks like it worked. I don't know if I want to call these idles. Like idles, walks, runs, roads. Idling. I'd rather have idling, walking, running, rolling, or dodging. I think that would be better. But I will copy it for now like this. We can rename it later. Let me just make a note here. To do. Rename animations to ing version. Ing variants, for example, idling, walking. All right. All right. So we copy that over. Now take a look at update. Basically, what is in here can be in our animate method. Our animate method is being called an update right here. So I'll just scroll down. Where's my update? Here. And I will paste it in here. And now I will have to take a look. Is rolling is called here differently. It's is dodging. So first thing I'll rename in here is this, is dodging. This one is not in here yet. The moving direction is in here though, right? Movement direction, moving direction. It should be moving direction. Can I just rename this without making or introducing any errors? Is it possible? That how you do it? Yeah, it looks like that worked. And then he just has play. Cannot resolve simple play. Yeah, because the method is not near. All right. We're almost there. Almost there. So we have move, we have equip, unequip. I'd rather have this in here as well. On validate, on enable. Where are the on methods? These are the collisions. It's this ones. So it's above this one here. I feel like these, they're necessary to know, but I kind of want to move them down. Same for these on triggers. I think it's more important to know about awake, fixed, update, and update. I think so. So I will move them down. Okay. Then he has this one here, but we have the same method here somewhere. Where did I put it again? Oh, I called them update now. Sure. Let me just check if they are the same method, basically. Update run state. This one is update run input. It is the same method, basically, right? Yeah. Change dodge input is update dodge state. Okay. On rolling, this is the one that's missing. I will move it down to the other on methods, like here. Is dodging. This one needs to be dodging. Right. Would have been probably easier to copy it over first and then rename it, but whatever. And now we have this Animencer state here. I will need both of these, I think. Let me think real quick. Yeah, because this one calls it, right? I still don't like this one as much, but I think it's okay. If the owned invents haven't been initialized yet, this method gets them and returns true. Wait, remark. This method tries to ensure that the event sequence is only referenced by the state. No, that's not what I wanted to know. Expensive method invocation, that's what it is. Okay. Like I said, I will copy this for now. We still need to make sure that this is the correct way of doing this. So we'll have to ask this in the threads. Nope. To do. Make sure this is the best way of doing this. Ask in forum if necessary. Let's see what does this. Okay, Animens is correct. Guess I can write it big because it is a name. Uppercase action. Is it a unity? Does it count as a unity? No, it's a normal action. Just basically a delegate function. What's with this? What is the issue here? Is it still the expensive method call or whatever? Expensive method invocation, yeah. Just leave it like this. And play, what's with play? It's also expensive method invocation. Okay. I wonder how a writer knows that these are expensive. That's it, I think. I think we have moved everything over now. The animate method is a problem. Why though? It's also expensive. Okay, makes sense. For now, I will leave it like this. It would be nice if the... I don't know, maybe you can make it so the play doesn't need to be called every damn time. But for now, I just used what the tutorial tells me to do, and they put it all in the update method. Okay. I think if I press this now, it will... No? It didn't. Okay, interesting. This is kind of... It did it for this one, yeah. That's kind of weird. Yeah. For some reason, it moves the serialized field up there when I try to format the file. Okay. Now we will try removing this script here. I will just deactivate it for now. I don't know if this should be in here. I feel like even the Animencer component should be on the player. Should be here. So I will do that. Animencer. There you go. It found the player animator. And now we just need to pull everything in here. Why is the control script in here? Does it even need to be in here? Isn't the controls available? Like everywhere? I feel like you don't need it. I don't know. Let me just check it real quick. Yeah, it still works, even if it's active or not. So I'll remove it for now. See what happens. Never mind. You have to have it there. Revert. Right? Yeah, now it's in here. Okay. It makes sense to have it on player. There's the player script. That's the one that we have to set up now. I feel like the rigid body should be above everything. Okay. We will do this differently. In here. In here I can move it, right? I want to have it up there. Yes. I want to have the box collider up here as well. This. The sorting group should also be above everything, I think. Maybe even the first thing. Player input controls. These can be closed, I feel like. They don't need to be open. And the script should be down here. That makes sense. The Animencer component that I need now should be above the players. I would even say the player input and the controls because they're not necessary. Well, not necessary, but you don't need to change these. They can be down here. Everything that is not interesting for change can be down there. Okay. Animents is one of the first scripts because we need it in here. And I feel like you can also move this one. I'm gonna move this one as well down there. Just easier to drag and drop, but once it's dragged in, you don't need to keep it up there. And then we will add the animation sets. So we have the idle one. We have the walking one. I'm blind currently. Move. Move should be walk, named walk. This should be run, right? Is it run? Yeah, run. And roads should be dodge. That. Okay, I will rename lots of these so they're all called the same thing. But for now, let me just test if everything works now that we merged these. And then we will rename them. Okay. I think this is okay now. Let's go back. Press play, see what happens. This works. Running down left up works. Rolling works. So I get that warning. But that's like a known warning. I think this is expected behavior. I'll need to confirm it, but I think it is expected behavior. Looks like everything works now. So now that we have done that, I will start renaming these because I want to name everything the same. So this one should be idling. I don't need that. Please stop. This one should be walking. This one should be running. Because to me, runs doesn't sound correct. Rolling. Sounds like it's multiple, but I mean, they are multiple, but it's more about the animation itself. You're doing a running animation, rolling animation, not a roads animation or a run animation. I think at least that sounds better in my head that way. What's with this? Rename to underscores. I mean, it makes sense. We will remove it. And this one as well. Okay. I'm gonna remove these empty lines here so it's more together. And now that we changed this, I can remove this to do. But let me have like a divider here so I know. But I can see it, so maybe just an empty line. Empty line is good enough, I think. Alrighty. Now we can also remove that include. Not needed anymore. Idling, rolling. This looks cleaner now, I think. Player moved, player ran, player dodged. Update run, state, update dodge state, update movement direction. Fadeable. What's the issue here? Why is it highlighted? Say fadeable to the okay, dictionary. Play. You don't need to return the state, right? I don't read it right now. Correct? Correct. Let me remove that state thing. I don't really need it, so let me just remove it. And you don't need to return anything. You just play the clip. Wait, that wrong? Like this. And down here you need it so you can add the on and callback. Kind of weird that you have to put a this in here, but okay. Animents. Okay. Let me see if it still works. Probably not. Probably need to set some things again. Yep. I thought so. Idle. Move. run, and roll. Okay. I'll rename those two, but first let me do this weapons. Sword should be in here, and gun should be in there. Everything else should be okay, I think. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right, let me just cannot implicitly, what did it say? Convert type void to elements to any state. Oh, never mind, I need it. I fucked up, okay. So I need that. Something else that I removed? Okay. Like this, then it should work. Okay. All right, now it's gone. Let me see. Everything's in here, yes. All right, just play, left down, rolling. Works. Okay, now that we have that in here, I want to rename these. Can I just get in there? I want to, nope, not this. I want to, I also don't want to open it. I want to see where it is. It should be under assets. Now that I think about it, I think we'll need to remove the samples before we merge the branch. I don't want the samples to be in my main branch. All right, where do I go? Animations, I guess. Okay, yes. I don't need the blank one anymore. We can remove that one, I think. Does it still work? Let me see. Still works. Great. Let me check player. Does he have an animator now? He has two. Wait a second. You don't need this one. Remove that one. Save. Let me try again. Still works. Yeah. Great. Save that. There is no animator right now. Also, the Animancer component also doesn't have an animator. I mean, it fetches it from the player, but it's not necessary. It fetches it from here, and there is no controller in here, no avatar, so it's fine. Why is... I guess you can... I guess I'm gonna remove these now. Remove component. Remove component. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna see that it works. It works. Okay. Nice. Yeah, we did a lot of progress here, a lot of cleanup in 30 minutes. It's pretty good. Okay, back to what I wanted to do. Characters. These should be called... What's with this one? This one you don't need anymore, right? It doesn't even have anything. Kind of want to delete it. It's not necessary. And you have these directional sets. So this is being used somewhere. Kind of want to know if this is being used somewhere. I don't think it is, at least not in my scene. So I'm gonna delete it. See what happens. Yeah, still works. Not necessary. Okay, now we'll rename this one to idling. Instead of move, I will call this walking. Rolling. running. I'm gonna save this. I mean, instead of, I guess you can also remove the inks. Roll down, idling down, idle down, run up, running up. I guess you can make it, leave it like it was. A little bit at least. This one should be dodge. This one should be run. This one should be walk. So similar but different. Let me go into the player. Let me go in here because I feel like this should be set up here. Idle should be this one. Dodge should be rolling, should be renamed. Run. I will rename these again. Walk. The weapons. Sword should be in here. Gun in there. I'm gonna save this now. Go back. Revert these because they are already correct. And that way he already sets it up himself. Nothing needs to be changed. Right, so it should be, when they move this prefab into the scene, it should be already set up. You don't need to do anything, I think. That's the hope. Okay. One thing I want to change next is rename this back, basically. Idle. I hate that this happens. I like it and I hate it. Walk. And then we'll also need to change the animation name. Animation in the ASprite file, basically. Rolling. This one is the worst one. This one should be dodge. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Is running, is dodging. Animation moving direction. Animate is expensive, I know. Play. On rolling. This one should be on. There's 3 L's in there. On dodging. On dodging animation and. You can also do this differently and say dodging animation ended. Okay. No, wrong button. Okay. This one we don't need, like I figured. Nah, don't press that button. Stop. Okay. All right. What's with this? Why is it highlighted? Because it doesn't know the word Animencer. That's okay with me. Why isn't this sorted? Like. Okay. Okay. So this is, I'm happy with this now. Now let's go into the ASprite file. This is also okay, right? Let me just check this. This is the old one. I think we can delete this one now. Let's see if it works. For real, fuck. Why? Why? Like, because the player doesn't have an animator anymore? Is that it? Is there a difference? Is that the issue? Let's see. If I go back, player, can I revert this? I don't think it will make a difference, but I'm down to try. Let's see. Nope, it's not it. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Player CS. Okay, wait. That might be a different issue. Let me see. Player. That looks correct. Why did he lose that? Why are they gone? Player. Because I renamed it? Nah. Kind of weird, but okay. It's walk. Then it's run. Maybe I should also order them by Dodge. Order them by alphabetical order. Might make it easier, I don't know. Let me see. Okay, now it works again. Rolling is possible. Great. Happy. Okay, let me order them. I think it would be better to order these. I think it makes sense to order these as well. So, Dutch comes first. Walk comes last. All right. Same with gun and sword. Movement speed and running multiplier is good enough. I think everything else is, I guess you could do it like this instead. But I also don't want to make it too complicated. It's good enough this way. You don't have to sort everything. That's kind of nonsense. I feel like once you change something, it will be chaos again. So no need to overcomplicate things. All right. Why do I have a black screen? So rolling works, running works, normal working works, idling in all direction works. Great. Let me okay, it has everything it needs. Yeah, that's great. Only thing that's weird is this. Why is this highlighted? Let me go into the player prefab. It's down there now. It's fine. This is good. Player script and then all the other script. Great. All right. Okay. Let me think now. Next, A sprite. There. Player. Okay. I want to rename some of the animations so they are named the same way. For example, idle down is correct. Heal, defense, defense. That's just a buff, right? Like a defense buff. But okay, whatever. Flames? Okay. We will need to rename those later anyway, but for now it's okay. Move down should be walk down. Walk down. Chop down, slash down, I'm good with. Roll down should be dodge down. Dodge down. Idle right, idle left. Move right should be walk right. Move left should be walk left. Run right, run left. Roll right should be dodge right. idle up, walk up. And the last one should be dodge up. There you go. Dodge up. I think I'll need to either shorten the death animation so that the first frame is not visible, like from here till there, I guess. Either that, or we need to add a death animation for all facing directions, not only down. But we will think about it once we get there. So I think this is okay now. Save the animation. Let's see if it still works. Do I? Okay, nope. Everything's broke now. Okay. We need to go into the animations folder. Characters, player. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I'm gonna do this the way that I seen it in another YouTube video and do it like this. Can you maybe, I want to close this. I don't need this. Is that possible? To remove this one? So I only have this one? I wonder. Is there a way to do search by time, separate label? Can you configure this? One column layout. Yes, that's what I want. Okay. Okay, then let's think real quick. I need the clips from the ASprite file. So I need ASprite player, this one, these. And I need, I'm gonna lock this one. Oh no, it's not this. I need the animation, this one. Lock this, and then we just need the dodge down, right? I mean the dodge one. Dodge up. Dodge right, and dodge left. Correct, correct. Let me save that real quick, and then we go into the next one. Idle, run, walk. Lock that real quick, go to walk. Walk down, walk right, walk up, walk left. Correct, correct. I wish I could sort these two. But because I'm using the class from his library, it's kinda... It would make sense. It would make sense to sort it alphabetically. Then it's easier to drag and drop it there. I think, but it's okay for now. I think that's it. So now I can save. Just play. Rolling is working. Ah, this one's not working yet. This one's set up wrong. Check. It's the dodge one. Oh yeah, I see it here. I fucked that up. It should be dodge left. Save. Okay. Okay, it seems like everything's working before. Okay, save. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna push this now, but let me just check everything again. Let's take a look at the player prefab. Player. Wait, let's set up here. This looks correct. take a look here. This is the ASprite file. We removed the sorting group because it needs to be on the last game object so it sorts it correctly. Also, I think it wasn't changeable. In this way, I was able to change it. Animator, why is this? Why is this not saved yet? Oh, it's overwritten. I see. Okay. SFX. The select tile. That's the one you see down here. All right. I think that's good enough. Let me check changes here. We don't have any change. I mean, this one is kind of weird. What happens if I reset it? Does anything happen? What happens if I press revert? No overrides. It looks correct. Oh wait, this is correct. Yeah. Losing my mind for nothing. I think this is correct now. This is clean. Let me just press play. Walking works, running works, rolling works. Yeah. Idling works. Clean. Okay, let me check the changes. I guess I don't really need the paths here. Can you like change it? Like I don't need the path to be shown here. Group by direct. Band all. Dock pinned. Move to resize. Or whatever. It's fine like this. So first things first. This should be. Oh, we should rename this. That's one thing we should do. Where was it here? I'm gonna move this down actually. This one. I want to rename this to just player. And maybe we should even move this to directional sets instead, because this is not animations anymore. Maybe. I'm thinking. Let me just see if this worked. Or do I need to set up something new? No. Looks like it works as expected. All right. I kind of want to make a new folder instead of animations. Directional sets. Doesn't make any sense. It'll make it easier to find them, but I still think they should be underneath animations. We think we have scripts, and then underneath scripts we name them what they are. I guess it would make sense to say animations, directional sets. then column. It doesn't really make a difference. You can just leave it like this. And you see that it's directional sets. Nothing else you need in here right now. Everything else is set through the ASP.NET file. That's okay, I think. Because in here there's also an animator. Yeah, it's fine. Leave it like this. Alrighty. So that one is also fixed, changed, whatever you want to call it. We will add these. And then let's go through it real quick. The blank controller we remove. We don't need them anymore, right? We have a dodge directional set now. We have an idle directional set one. Why is there? Oh, the old one got deleted. Okay. That makes sense. Same with move. Instead of move, we now have walk. Here. And we have the run one. And the roll one got deleted for the dodge one. Okay. So far, so good. This is just a scene that we play around with. The ASP.NET file got changed because of the naming changes for the animations. The player controller was deleted because we don't need it anymore. Same for the old player animator controller. Also, we don't need that anymore. The player 2.0 meter was deleted because the folder was deleted. The player prefab got changed and the player script got merged. That's about it. So merge animation changes and refactor / clean up everything. Okay. Let's not say animation, but Animancer. Merge Animancer changes into player CS and refactor clean up everything. All right. Let me just get out of the scene. Where am I? How do you like make everything collapse? A tab, scene, game, inspector, hierarchy, project profile. I don't need any of these. Open and search by type, import log, number of display, click to hide packages. Nothing changed. I was kind of hoping that it would close our photos with a button click, basically. I wanted to go in here, scene. Let's open Farm 9x9 for now and go back to Farm Animancer. I tested it again once. Okay, it looks like it works. When we go to Farm 9x9, this will not work anymore, right? Oh wait, it does. Wait, does the player... Wow, it works That's crazy. Okay, that's the... Okay, I'm gonna close this again. I don't want to change anything in here. I don't want to touch this. This answer scene. All right. Let's go back to my scene. Everything's in here. I just want to make sure that I didn't accidentally add this now to the changes. Nope. All right. Commit and push. Okay. We need to do. Find a better name. Is running is technically another state. Update run state. Update run state. Maybe just call it set running. Maybe just call it set running. Makes more sense, right? It's easier to understand. Okay, wait. So I'll rename this to set movement direction. Set running. Oh, let's call it like this. Set is running. Now I kind of want to use get and setter for this. But I don't need, do I need a, let me check. Do I need to know from the outside of the player class if the player is running? I don't think I do. You call it like this for now. And this one is set is dodging. I kind of don't like it this way. This can be done better in a way, but for now, should be good enough. So I found a better name now. I'll remove this. Let me test it just to make sure that I didn't break anything. Am I in the correct scene here? Yes, okay. All right. So that worked. Make this smarter. Players here should know about favorites. Okay, this is one for the future. What about this? This is also for future. That's fine with me. Commit and push. Commit anyway and push. I want to keep the to-dos in here so I remember to do it later. When I have some time or when it's more like a low priority thing, you know. Doesn't need to be done. Okay. Could create a merge request, no, but I don't want to. All right. I think this is good enough now. I kind of want to merge it, but I also don't want to break anything in the main branch right now without nobody testing this first. I don't know if this works at somebody else's branch or if somebody pulls this, if it will work on their machine. It might be that something is missing, that I need to push something or something. Also, I don't know about the Animencer, if it will work without setting it up correctly with the package manager and so on. Let me think about this for a second. I will go grab my tea. We are back. All right, I am back. And I got my tea. And it's hot. I can't drink it right now. It is what it is. All right, we did that. We cleaned up a lot. We did some to-dos. I could take a look into the fadeable one, so we resolved this to-do. Let me just see. Fadeable. There it is. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, Unity changed this to 1.5? Or we changed it in Unity? Let me check that real quick. The player is there's a player facing script. This is what I want to also remove. Player facing should work differently because of the facing direction that we now have in the player script. I think we can merge these two together. But before I do that, I just want to understand how the fadables work again. I think the fadable is on a tree, right? There's a box collider on it. And there's a square. And there's like a script. Yeah. This is a little bit annoying. This is the sprite basically. And this is the game object around the sprite, so we can move it correctly. I think it also had something to do with the sorting group, but I'm not sure anymore. Check real quick. And I want to add this to everything now. Everything that should be fadeable. Like, for example, this crystal. Can I... Will that work if I just put it on there? I don't want to change too much, but, you know. This doesn't have a... It might not work that way. Can you also rename these? No, right? Too bad. All right, fadeable. Fade speed 1.5, fade out alpha, fade in alpha. More? I mean, sure, we changed it for the... I could update it, technically, yeah. But how is this changed? Isn't that the value? What happens if I do it like this? It won't work, okay. Doesn't really matter. Fade speed is pointing to fade speed. It's also kind of weird. Like there's no reason to do it this way. If you want to make the fade speed available through a getter, you might as well just make this public, and that way you have it already. You don't need this down here actually. Sometimes I wonder what I did here. Like how high was I? Right. Use var. Nah, I don't know about that one. Why does it recommend me to use var? I don't want to. No thanks. I don't want to use var everywhere. Kinda ridiculous. Right, let me think. Is fading... Okay, here's my issue that I had with this. The player needs to know this so it can call fadeable fade in or fade out, right? Basically, whatever you collide with, you want the player to be visible through the game object that is in front of him. The reason why I don't like this is because the player script now needs to have knowledge about the fadeable script. I want to decouple this so that instead of calling the fade out function, I want to have like a iCollidable, it's like that. So you just say, I collided with you, now you handle it, you know? I think that's how it should be. And for fadables, they should be collidables or implement collidable. And then just say what happens when you call collided, basically. I don't like this. This is the part that I don't like. I want to make this more generic or reusable in the future. I think collidable might be like an interface iCollidable might be the right way. Let me see if there is something like that out there. Collidable. There is the interface, right? Is there like a I don't need these methods. I don't need to calculate anything. Collider. Interface, by the way, Unity. Handle collisions the right way. Their collision. So far, I don't like it. Okay, basically it says it checks the tag of the collided object, and if the tag is damaged, it does damage to the player, but I don't think this is the right way to do this. On process collision object. Process collision game object collider. You just move the method down there. He just made it so that both methods call the same collision handling. Makes sense, but that's not what I wanted. Okay, here he handles the collision on the collided object. You can also do that, but I don't know what's better. Handle collision. Okay, wait. Unity. Handle collisions on player or colliding object. Articulation body. What the? Never heard of this. Uh, 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 not what I wanted.
Unity. We're going to look at you will learn how to make your own games with in-depth tutorial with how to get collisions working. One of the issues let's call this our health potion. Potion texture collider simple our triggers here see called handle our movement small very simple. Here we just have a function that being called on update called
Man, that's old.
now in order
the
our
old input system.
So this is the function that is called whenever this object and say something. Alright, so let's test. Okay, here we are, and I can move the player around. Alright, makes sense. And now let's check out the log whenever I approach the item, and I go and nope, we have nothing happening. We drop down self. Okay, it's very simply the only they to get the body. Here we are, and I just replaced the player with a like correctly push around the rocks. Okay, that the wall can still push these rocks around. And now on the wall. And yep, there you go. Now the object more the scroll trigger enter 2D, which gets called whenever a collider enters so and the collision.
So he handles collisions on a player. Basically.
Okay, well, nice. Help I go out. It's not very download tutorials.
Okay, this did not help.
And I'll see you next time.
This did not help, man. Okay. Give me a second. I'll take a look at my tutorials that I did a couple of, I think 1 or 2 years ago. No. Which one is it? Okay, never. Game programmer. I think that was a game programmer course. Recording. Scene enemy creation. Physics, materials, and reaction. Grounding. Damage. And collisions. That sounds correct. Bricks. Just see what happens. There's a brick. There's an on collision enter. If the collision game object is player, then it does something. Otherwise, it destroys the Hmm. Hmm. Is there a where were the bricks under which? Oh, it's here. Okay. Lasers, switches. Introduction to interfaces. This might be it, but I'm not sure. I take damage, sounds correct. Explosion and impact. I'm gonna take a look at that. Jesus, my ears.
The size that my blaster shots were at. So I'm going to pick that as my size that was. It's completely flat as long as it's not. And in the on collision enter, we're just.
Wait. You're too fast. What did I miss? Is this this is blaster shot? Okay. Damageable. Get component. Get component, I take damage. And then it takes damage. That's kind of the way that I want to do it. Kinda.
Going to instantiate a blaster explosion or let's call it an impact explosion. So say fusions are at that explosion field. There we go. I'm going to cut it and move it up. Once it spawns, make sure they're repeating shot explosions explode right after we do the instantiating. We can call it.
So damageable. Blaster shot checks for damage. Take damage. Fadable. Let me think. I mean, this one way to do it. If you make it eye collidable, though, maybe you don't want to make it that way. Maybe you want to differentiate between damageable and other things.
Or the
damageable, interactable, fadable, basically.
I've saved my scene. Go into plastic and say explosion at a size that explosion.
Okay, let me see if I take damage. Also, let me check if there's more in here. Profiling, multiple layers. No, that's about it. Lines, interaction. There's an interaction system. Inventory. I feel like I should continue this tutorial, man. Looks great. Into the timeline. Enemy creation. Inventory. Stealing items. Maybe I should take a look at this again. But for now, I think I take damage is good enough. I take damage, I take laser damage. Take damage. Where is the I take damage class? Pretty easy, right? It's just a I'm thinking right now because if it has a fadable script, do I need to make it that generic is what I'm wondering. Maybe it makes sense to have like an eye collidable and just let the script handle whatever it needs to handle. You know what I mean? Like if collide with damageable, then you say, okay, take damage. Or if you collide with a interactable and you say, okay, interact, something like that, right? Or if none of these types are what you are searching for handling it, maybe that makes sense to have like a collidable type. Then you just say collidable.collide and let it handle whatever it needs to handle with the collision. The player doesn't need to know anything. It just I mean, I can also kind of ask. I don't like that. Let me see the way it did it here. This is the other way around. This is the brick. The brick checks for collision. But what I'm interested is player. He doesn't have player, right? No. He has an dog. Dog takes damage. And the dog, the blaster shot. When the blaster shot collides with a damageable object, it takes damage. I take damage. Damageable. I would have called this I damageable. But I take laser damage also sounds pretty good. It says I, like me. I take damage. I fade. Like an I fade, but I don't need like custom fade logic. You know what I mean? That's my problem. The whole thing. Fadeable is pretty straightforward. I will not change the fadeable mechanism. There are no different types of fadeable mechanisms. So I don't need an interface for it. I do need an interface for collisions though. Let me see. The blaster shot. Then it's a ladybug. Blaster shot. Launch on collision, enter. It checks if it collided with an damageable object. That's basically what this means, right? It collided with a game object. It tries to get the component I take damage. If damageable is not null, then it takes damage. And then it sets the game object to active false for some reason. This game object. Oh, it's a blaster shot. Yeah, I remember. The blaster shot needs to despawn. I think that's why it sets it to set active false. Alright. I think there is also a pooling that will destroy any blaster shots that are being created. Now let me think, how would we do this with the player? I would check if there's anything that needs to be faded, basically, right? Instead of saying I take damage, I would say get component, fadeable. But that's also asked because now you know the fucking... Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'd rather have an interface, I collidable, and say, do this on collision, basically. Should I call it I collidable? If I call it I fade, it won't be any better. Then I can just, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to have an interface here. Right now I could just do the same thing. I think I do the same thing here. A little bit. Little bit. I just don't like having the handling for it that way. You know what I mean? This is, what are the functions here called? Fade in, fade out. If I make this more generic, then I can do this for every object that has like a collision effect. But then again, Why does it have to be so complicated? I'm just thinking about making it easy and not harder. Ah, man, I don't like knowing about this. Players should not know about this. I think I should create an interface. Do we have an interface folder? Let's like that. We do not. They are like helper classes. Unit type. Eh. UI makes sense. Title makes sense. World. What do we have in world? Just the directions. We don't need these anymore because we have the I guess the directional set in a way. Also the vector is enough, I think. But we will see. Character variable. Hey. All right. I will create a new. Wait, how do you do this in clean code? Is it even called clean code? I'm not sure. And that's not what I want. Why is it in German though? Clean code. Example. C#. Meaningful names. All right. I know so much. That much. Why can't I scroll anymore? Fuck off. I guess clean code is not what I'm looking at. What I'm looking for. What's it called? What's it called again? C#. It's not clean code. Clean architecture, maybe? Application domain infrastructure. I think that's it, yeah. Clean architecture. Clean architecture Unity. There's nobody answered to this. Huh? Nobody answered this 2 years ago. Nobody answered this. What? Simple and clean. Wait, now I have the song in my head. It fits. It fits. Beautiful. What is this? I can close this, I think. I can close this too and this too. Simple, clean architecture is something different. Wait, it's something based on the concept of clean architecture. Oh yeah. Okay, I know these. You have entity. Use case, gateway, presenter view. I know entity and view. Use case, gateway, and presenter are new for me. Or new to me. Dependency injection, yeah, I know that. Reactive programming, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Example scene. Open this project, example scene as example scene. Yeah, with 2 buttons. But why do you have reactive property, observe data, execute? Why do you? I don't want to know it with UI. I want to know the entities. That I don't like this. Nah. Is there more? Clean up your code. How to create your own C# code style? I want to do that. Nope. Unity game architecture. Dependency injection. Nope. A single entry point, additive scene loading? And refactoring bill? Why? What? Why? Yeah. So what? Where's the answer to this? Why? What did he change? I don't know if I like this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. My clean architecture example. Zenject mono installer. Installer main mono behavior domain repository presenter. I know repository. I know domain. Isn't there a good? Isn't there a good way to do this?
Merry Christmas. So when I look at my old projects, I pretty much just want to gouge my eyes out. And that's not because of the spaghetti code, although that is a little part of it. Let's jump straight in. So I'll just tidy this up a little. Okay, so let's start with the hierarchy here. That the first, like orchestrator classes, they control manage in setting, for example, like tiles of a grid or terrain or trees or any canvases in a sense. Don't destroy on load. So let's talk one the project, which is the meat and potatoes, and let's go through this one by one. So I prefix my scripts folder with an underscore, and that's just because it puts it up to the top, and scripts is by far my most commonly used folder. So it's always nice having it up top, easy to find. Now, before we get into looking at the code, just know that you don't need to understand.
Let me just screenshot this real quick.
understand everything as I'm going through it, okay? I'm just gonna quickly go through the base concepts of it. You should download the project yourself and look through. I've commented pretty much everything, so find what you like, throw away what you don't like. But the hopes of this is just, it's gonna help you along. You can see these two correlate to these. So let's pop into the game manager. And you can see that it is deriving from a singleton class, which I have down here in my utilities. If we go into it, okay, so I'm not going to go through exactly what a singleton is, but the base rundown of it is it just allows us to have a single static instance of this class that we can easily access anywhere. Well, this here is actually more of just a static instance of the class. It's not exactly a singleton. This one here, singleton persistent, actually is a singleton because we're ensuring that there's only one version of this actual object. And we're also calling don't destroy on load. So persistent as in it's going to persist through scenes.
I mean, I don't have it installed. A sec. Nope. Yes. Yes. Let me just install this real quick so I can make better screenshots. Next. Yes. Next. Yes. God dang it. Okay. Does this work? No. Okay. Let me just set it up real quick. Preferences. Where is it? No. Open. Wait, we can leave it like this. It's fine. But I want to no. I do not want to capture full screen. I want to have this one. Maybe remove that one. Also remove that one. Like this. Okay, okay. I also always want to do this. Okay, let me see. Does this work now? All right, let me close that. Okay. No. Also no.
We're also calling don't destroy on load, so persistent as in it's going to persist through scenes. Actually is. So back to our game manager, as you can see, it's actually inheriting enum with a whole bunch of different states here, and we have this the very comes down here. Ready, we'll just I'm say So if you are, this is good, honestly. So
I
let's
don't
go into
like
there.
that.
But then that wraps just game state manager. Okay, next is the scriptables folder, and
Oh.
in here is just
Yeah. Why did he?
where I keep my scriptable objects. If you don't know what a scriptable object is, it's just a class which derives from scriptable objects, and that just allows us to create basically these little data.
He calls them resource. I don't know if I would do that. Ah, but dang it. All right, wait. I know where it is. Scripts helpers. This one. All right. I don't need this right now. Need to close down everything right now. I want to come back to the fadables and the player. All right. Idea was to add an interface folder. We have some interfaces in here.
Object. On this, I've just got the faction. So is this
Scriptable,
this
most
object down here? So we've got our main systems object, and this is the only class
Singleton
that I'm
persistent.
going to inherit from Singleton Persistent. And if you remember, that's just like a Singleton class which calls don't destroy on load, so that we can put this in the first scene, and even after 50 scene loads, it's still going to be there.
My model just glitched out for a second there. I wasn't angry at him. Nope. No. That was just a model. Just a model. I don't know what to think of this actually. resource system.
And then I've got my scriptable object here. So in our resource system, I've got a list of this scriptable object type. And in Awake, I'm calling assemble resources. And the fact that it's in resources folder means that we can actually use resources load all. And we're going to say, all right, of this type in this folder.
I don't know. I don't know if I like this.
Example,
unitary
hero
thing.
function that, as I've written here, it might be like you've taken a potion before a battle, or you're working with a few.
I wonder if he does
specific
this
hero-
differently
And the reason
now.
that's handy.
I wonder if this is still relevant.
Hey,
You just check some videos of his grids. Latest, 1 year ago. Collision Chi-Chi? Nah. Just now. Is there not like a normal code architecture? Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see like a internal message. Cache the results. Avoid empty Unity events. Stack trace. I just want to see a normal project architecture for Unity. No. Just look at this. Yo. Not what I wanted. I don't want any state machines. Using interface.
King of Thieves Jutot says hey Yadders.
Hey Greg, how's it going? I'm waiting on you guys. And while I'm waiting, I'm trying to look at some
King of Thieves Jutot
architecture
says good.
stuff. Trying to find like a. Do you know what clean architecture is? But I don't find it. That's why I'm kind of disappointed. I found this, but this is also ass. I feel like clean architecture is basically dividing components into types and folders. You know, like this. You have like a view, you have a presenter, you usually have a repository that contains data, you have value objects and entities. And I wanted to see how this would look in Unity, but I can't find a good example. This one is kind of ass. I don't know what these gateways are. Never heard of these. I don't know. Presenters, I mean, I think I heard of them, but I'm not sure. Most commonly we use repository, value objects, entities, interfaces too. And I don't know.
King of Thieves Jutot says looks complicated. D.
It's just for sorting your structure in the project. Basically just creating folders, like the same folder structure for every project, so that you know, hey, if I go into this game, there's a folder, for example, entities, which contains all my
King
entities,
of Thieves Jutot says okay.
stuff like that. It's just so it makes it easier for people to get into game projects or in general projects. But I was hoping that there would be like a tutorial how to implement it for Unity. Because Unity is a little bit different. They have game objects and stuff. You know, you don't, I wouldn't say that a game object is an entity, you know? But I can't find a good example. Clean code with MVC. No.
Prod F1 Shy says HEYA.
Hey, fishy.
Prod F1 Shy says P. King of Thieves Jutot says, well, so far we've been okay with our current structure, right?
Yeah. I was just wondering, I wanted to add an interface, you know? And I looked into our structure and I was like, okay, where do I put it? And then I was like, wait a sec, maybe I can take a look at clean code and Unity, you know? But I can't find a good example. And I don't want to...
King of Thieves Jutot says okay.
And I don't want to come up with a new thing, you know? I want to use something that's
King
there.
of Thieves Jutot says the yak showed its face.
Yeah, but I'm also waiting on you. I don't want to merge my changes and destroy everything. Somebody needs to test that first. Either you or Ans needs to pull my changes from the branch, from the feature branch, and try and run it on his side. Because I don't want to like add all the elements or shit in the master branch, and then you guys try to run it doesn't work. That would be ass.
King of Thieves Jutot says yeah, I pulled, and then Unity started compiling and importing a bunch of stuff.
Okay, that's good. Can you like try to play the farm elements to see? And if that works, try to build the game and see if it still works. Yo. Fuck. Unity coding standards, clean code, things to avoid, public features, large class, large math. I mean, this is all known casing. Private fields with optional underscore. Okay. Public fields.
Authentic Coastline says best viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space at X0Zuab.
All right. These bots. Driven develop. README driven development. I don't know about this.
King of Thieves Jutot says banned.
Thank you.
King of Thieves Jutot says I swing my band sword.
Interesting ways. Solid. I mean, I know solid, but coding standard. Then jacked. Okay. Okay. I don't even know why the fuck is it like displayed like I'm on a mobile phone. But why? All posts and clean code. How'd you keep your wife around for 18 years? Relationship advice from a game programmer. Okay. Man.
King of Thieves Jutot says okay, I loaded the farm Animancer scene and I don't see any changes. What am I supposed to be seeing?
Let me show you. Nothing much. You like basically walk left, right. I guess the only thing that is new now for you is the idle animation is for down, left, right, and top. Everything else was in there, but I flipped it. It's a new component. It's not the animator component anymore. It's the Animancer component. So if you, for example, if you take a look at player, you should be seeing this down here now. It should,
King of Thieves Jutot says okay, yeah, that works fine for me.
and here, down here, you should, like, if I move my model over here, you should see the different animations being played, you know?
King of Thieves Jutot says, but let ANZ test it before merging faux show.
Okay, but do you see
King
this?
of Thieves Jutot says cool.
Can you check if you see this? And if you see that, try to build it, please, because in the free version of Animancer, if you build it, the animations don't work. It only works with the Pro license. I want to see if the Pro license also gets pulled if you try to compile it, basically, or build it. Otherwise, if it doesn't work, then either I will always have to build the game, or we need to get licenses for you and Ans as well. One of those two. I don't know yet what we will do, but I just wanted to see how it works for you. Okay, but
King
let me
of
go
Thieves
back.
Jutot says I see those bars there, but there are warnings.
Yeah, don't ignore those. I have the warnings too. See?
King of Thieves Jutot says okay, I'll try to build.
Yeah, it just says that the animator has no avatar, but that's on purpose. Because I don't need it, you know, and it works, so. Ba, ba, ba. Good, but if it works, then I will. I will create a new directory interfaces now. Interface. Or interfaces. Everything else is in plural, so images, materials, prefab, scripts. So I will just call this interfaces. Do you enter the following file? Yes. And then we will create a new class. And I will call this iCollidable. For now. Let me think if that makes sense. I think it makes sense, but I'm not sure. I want an interface. I think this makes sense. Me think. And then we want to have a that's what I don't like. Fade out, fade in. Not fade coroutine, fade sprites.
King of Thieves Jutot says build works fine for me.
That's great. Then we can leave it like that. We can still let Ans test it if you want, but I don't think that was the only thing that I had in mind. It might fuck things up, you know. In the next step, I will try to merge all the animation related scripts together when it makes sense. And clean up a little bit. And then we can add the attack
King of Thieves
animation
Jutot
for
says
all
H is the one
directions.
working the most in the project, so let him test as well for you.
Yeah, okay.
King of Thieves Jutot says for sure asterisk.
Yeah, sure. I don't mind it. I don't want to merge right now anyway, so it's fine. And once we add all the attack animations for the different directions, then I guess that's it for now. No, wait, I also wanted to add the weapons. I wanted to equip the weapons when the attack animation is being played. Or keep them equipped, whatever. One of those. All right. Now let me think real quick. Does this make any sense? I think it does. Because I don't want to check for the different types here. I just want to use iCollidable here. And then call enter collision, exit collision, or something like that. Call collision? Handle collision. Does that make any sense? Maybe I'm thinking too complicated here. I don't know. Maybe I am thinking too complicated here, but let me just try it out. On collision. I don't like the on. What would you call that? I'll like start enter collision. The collision is kind of weird. It doesn't do anything else, just a void, right? Yeah, it's just a public void. What's it called here? This calls on trigger exit, on trigger enter. I think I'll just call it enter collision for now and exit collision. I don't know what to call it. And I will make this one iCollidable. Can I just use that in here? Kaleido? It's not implemented. Yeah, I know. That's the point. That's the whole idea. And then you can do exit collision, fade in. That's a little bit smarter, I think, because the player script doesn't need to know that this is a fadeable. It just needs to know it's a collidable. Let me see if that works. It does. And that makes it better, I think. Then you can just call this collidable. Collidable. A2. And that way the player doesn't need to know about fadables. It just needs to know about collidables. That makes it a little bit smarter. Did I write this wrong? Collidable? How do you write collidable? Written like this, right? Yeah, it is written like this. Okay.
King of Thieves Jutot says collidable.
All right. Does this make sense to you, Greg? I just want to make sure that I'm not overthinking stuff. Let me show you what I changed. It doesn't even show it correctly, huh? Is it down here? Yeah, it's down here. Before we had the fadable in here, so I can make objects that are in front of the player transparent. And I didn't like that the fadables were hard-coded in here. Because if you move the player script into another project, you will need to move the fadable script in there as well. I'd rather make this more generic and then be able to copy the player script somewhere else, another object, in another game, I mean. And don't need to add the fadables there, but instead something else that is also like a collidable script, you know? So I introduced the iCollidable interface, and the fadable just implements the iCollidable interface now. It has these default methods. Basically, if we have another script...
King of Thieves Jutot says, but you're trying to get it right. If it fails, it won't do anything right.
We can try. You mean if it... basically, if I'm colliding with something that doesn't have the script, that's what you mean, right? I'm using try-get components, so it
King
should...
of Thieves Jutot says yeah.
I'm using try-get components, so it should be okay, I think.
King of Thieves Jutot says exactly.
Yeah, I'm colliding with this and nothing happens. See? Not breaking. Okay. Right? Just with this one. It's also only on trigger. Where is it? 3? Because this is a trigger function that is detecting it. Is trigger, this one. Let me see, Nexus. Let me see if that happens. Nope, nothing happens. Okay, so should be okay. And the good thing is basically if we want to add other ways of interacting with the collision, you can just use the interface so that these methods are in there and then do whatever you want with that. For example, if you want to add like a damage thing, you could just make a new class, say it implements iCollatable. It has these two methods and these methods handle the damaging stuff. And the player doesn't need to know about it. It will just get triggered through this, you know? I mean, this over here on this side. He will just call whatever he collided with, enter collision and exit collision. And that way the other script can handle the damage or whatever you want to do. At least that's the idea. We will see if it works out that way. I just didn't like that it was hard-coded Fadable in here. I didn't want that because I already know if we have another game that also uses top-down characters, we don't need the Fadable maybe. You know? Then I will need to rename it again and it doesn't make any sense. Also, if there is something that does this, that would be also nice, but I don't know. Thinking maybe there is something like this, like an interface. Let me rename this real quick to reliable test. Where is it? This one. There's an iCollection, iCollectable, but no collidable. So I guess that's okay. I think I will move this up. That way it's one method less. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay. Let's see if it still works. Yes, it does. Great. Yeah, I think that's better. The collision. Yep. Okay. Fadable. Implement interface iCollidable. And use interface methods instead for fading in / out. Oh. Oh, 0 to-dos. Just one that there was one to do more. Yeah, looks like there was no to-do left. Wait, there was something, yeah. No, we resolved all to-dos. All right. Let me take a look at the player. Why did it... I don't like that. Why did it reload the scene? Okay, it still works. Stop scaring me. I wanted to take a look at the player because there's there's like an interactive script here. Player facing. I think player facing is not necessary. Yeah, I think you can move all of this into player, but I won't do it right now. I first want the okay of Ans and then we'll see what happens. There's also like a collider check. See this, for example. This should be also be able... you can make this, I think, with the collidable interface. Move it in there and let it handle the player. Or let it be handled by the player. I think. I'm not sure. I will check it out. But let's first let Hans try it out and give me the okay that I can merge it, and then we see what happens. Yeah, I think... Hold your sauce. Wait a second. Okay. I will basically, what we need to do next, merge the feature branch into main, and then go through all the scripts that use an animator, make them use the Animancer way instead, and if possible, merge scripts together where it makes sense. And that way we will have less scripts and less weird things happening, I think. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. But like I said, first merge it to main and then we'll see what happens. All right, I will start with the streaming here.